That's the interesting thing about Buffalo. I think we learn more about them in their one loss this year than we have in their 3 victories.
I think we would say the same thing about Kansas City because of how they got pressed, but we'd also say the same thing about Detroit, how they played Kansas City in that game.
On second down, it's Cook. And across midfield he goes and into Bengal territory. 9 yards on the pickup there as they'll be left with 3rd and 1.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. They'll run it. Here's Cook. And Cook was fighting for it, but I don't think he got there. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll pay a visit to Jonathan Coachman. He's in Orlando, and he'll have our EA Sports halftime report. Colquitt on to kick as he sends it away. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin him back. The Bengals drive about to get going. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because their confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline?
The 22-yard line.
From the 22, here's 2nd and 8. Dalton now to pass. Caught Eifert over the middle. And they work this well upfield across the 45. The catch and run, good for 24 yards.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. To throw here, Dalton. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Throwing, Dalton. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And the return out shy of midfield to the 46-yard line. Partner, earlier we were talking about the undefeated teams in the league. Let's switch that and look at the teams at the bottom, like Miami, Washington, Denver, etc. Who is there hope for that is off to a really rough start?
And if we're talking about hope, are we talking about this season or are we talking about the future?
Well, let's do in the future.
Okay, in the future, well, Miami's accumulating draft picks at an incredible rate. But they'll have to hit on all of them and make great decisions in free agency. If so, then they definitely have hope for the future. If you're Washington, well, you drafted Dwayne Haskins this past year. Can you build around a rookie quarterback, a young guy, and make this thing work? If you're Denver, you've got to get some things figured out because normally their defense carries them. Arizona, well, of course, Kyler Murray's there in a new system. Will it take root? Will it take hold? Atlanta is the biggest surprise to me in the early going at 1-3. I don't think any of us saw this coming. but they can still climb back into the race if they can get on a little bit of a run.
So Atlanta would be a team, if we're talking this season, you think still might have some hope?
I still believe that in the NFC South, a tough division, but because of familiarity breeding contempt, they won't be as concerned about playing those teams. They know them, they're familiar, and they have Matty Ice, Matt Ryan at quarterback. They can get hot in a hurry.
57.
Cousins on first down. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half.
First and 10 at the 26-yard line. 65. 65. Clock. 57 to Mike. Bravo. And come on out here. Come get some.
A first down throw for Cousins. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Now a signal and a timeout call, as it comes with 9 seconds to go in this first half of play. Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's first and goal.
Good route here. Hey, check Mike 57. Mike 57. Move. All good. Mike's 57. 57.
Working out of the gun, Cousins. And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock. The linebacker, Preston Brown, there to knock that one away.
Second and goal at the 9-yard line.
So on second down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. This is a 26-yard attempt. And Bailey able to knock it through. And that's going to make this a 16-0 ball game. So a capper there to a pretty good first half.
And I love the way that they put a chokehold on the clock and pretty much drained everything before they put the field goal on the board as they headed into the half.
Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. The final act of the first half. Dalton going for the deep ball. And now here is another interception. Mackenzie Alexander with a pick. And they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. This will be taken short. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line.
At their own 29-yard
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the three-point
kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
Now a throw right side taken in here to start this drive. Touchdown, Vikings! Adam Thielen, 71 yards. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Great corner route there. Not only able to catch it, turn it upfield, and get into the end zone.
It usually involves a little bit of an extra move, doesn't it? You've got to get them thinking that you're moving to the middle of the field and you're breaking away to that corner. Boy, that was well executed.
Bailey got the extra point, and that pushes the lead up to 23.
Dan Bailey set to kick off.
Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. That'll be taken in the end zone. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line.
Their own 24-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going, and their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger.
The young, incredible, honestly unforgettable. You a Joe like Chappelle show. This so perennial. Do this for my millennials. I be murdering any flow. I just had to let you know. It's the young, incredible, honestly unforgettable. You a Joe like Chappelle show. This so perennial. Do this for my millennials. I be murdering any flow. Yeah. Nah, the story.